But again, like Eric said, maybe getting away, day off, getting away, getting back to Minute Maid. You don't feel as much pressure in front of your home fans to play well, although I'm not sure how much of a role that plays, but maybe it does. Verlander hasn't been great. They got to him in game 2. I mean, and Strassi, I expect Strassi to be really good tomorrow night. I'm not saying he's going to throw a complete game, but I expect him to go 6 or 7 and limit, Houston's bats. And I'm always afraid of who comes after Strassi, like you should be. But the key is you got to score runs.
Yeah, I mean, Game 6 is, at worst, I feel like it's a 50-50 proposition for the Nationals right now, the way that Strasburg has been throwing. He's been their most dependable guy all season. He continues to be the most dependable guy. Verlander's going to be a Hall of Famer, so it's not like he's got a weak matchup. But, they were able to do some stuff against him last time. So that game is, I think, at worst a coin flip for the Nationals right now. Then, if they can get past that, Game 7, who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? But, yeah, I think you have to like – Game 6, you're down 3-2. You got Strasburg on the mound. That's who you want there. So
right.
It's not like hope has been extinguished.
Do we just expect kind of what they did the first 2 games where Kendrick slides over to DH and Cabrera at second base? Would they consider anything else?
I can't imagine you don't have Kendrick's bat in there, but he's kind of cooled off a little bit. Cabrera, I feel like he's kind of been a little bit of a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice to have another lefty swinger, switch hitter, lefty swinger there, and against Verlander. But yeah, it could be that. Although, who knows? I mean, sometimes I feel like managers have gut hunches in these kinds of situations, and that ends up being the guy that gets the home run. Who knows? Maybe he plays Dozier. These kinds of crazy things happen in the postseason.
Do we now, knowing that Max was hurt? And they knew this for a couple days, that it was trending sort of poorly. They didn't know he was going to wake up and feel as bad as he did yesterday, obviously. But does this explain some of Davey's decisions there in Game 4, where people were kind of scratching their head, bringing in Rodney in that situation, and not bringing in a Hudson, that sort of thing?
Yeah, I think so, and I think that was the right move, right? I mean, I don't know that you needed Hudson to throw like 35 pitches in Game 5. That's probably not a great look, but with the day off, he'll probably be all right for Game 6. Don't know about Game 7, but you got to take it one game at a time. But it's funny, all season long it's been taking one game at a time, and that was Game 4 was really, I guess, one of those times when Davey didn't take it one game at a time. He was thinking ahead a little bit. Right. He had some information that the rest of us probably didn't have. But, yeah, I think that definitely factored into the bullpen management for sure.
Right.
Your boy Jeff Passan wrote an article on ESPN.com today about the robot umpires are coming.
They're coming
because of
not soon enough
because of some of the missed calls by the home plate umpires. And of course, I mean, it happens every game. Guys are going to miss calls. There was a couple questionable calls there that Garrett Cole threw that he got strikes on, but he also threw a couple that I thought were strikes. He got called at balls. Ross did the same thing. Look, it's human error. You can get 98% of them right, but those 2% are going to be scrutinized. Is that a big story today, in your opinion?
Yeah, absolutely. But I don't think it's a story. It's a story today because it's on a high-profile stage like the World Series. But this thing has been coming anyway. I went to an Atlantic League game over the summer up in York, PA, and wrote a story on the robot umps. That was one of the things that they were testing out in the Independent League this summer. And out of all the crazy, weird rules that they're testing up there, like stealing first base and 3 batter minimums and things like that, the one rule that everyone seemed to think was the most imminent and was going to become in just a matter of when, not if, was the robot ump. Most of the guys that I talked to, the umpires, I talked to the hitters, and they all thought like it's just a matter of time because why not? And it's not totally robotic. It's an umpire who wears an earpiece and he's got a phone in his pocket and it communicates with the pitch track in the press box. And
right.
So it's almost like it's computer. It's robot aided. We say robot. It's computer.
Yeah.
But we'll call it robot. It's robot aided. It's not complete. You're not going to not have an umpire behind the plate. He just has the thing in his ear and it calls ball or strike almost instantaneously. And he has the opportunity to veto it. Right. So if a breaking ball just nicks the outside corner and then bounces in the dirt, the computer in that situation would call it a strike, but that pitch hasn't been a strike for 100 years in baseball. So in that situation, the umpire is going to be like, nah, I'm not calling that a strike, so he calls it a ball. But so, yeah, I think it's coming. But look, if you can have a robot pitcher like Garrett Cole on the mound, then it's only fair you should
By
have
the way,
a
that's
robot umpire, right?
disappointing. I don't want any human decision thrown into the robot. The robot should either call it a strike or a ball, and then you move on.
But there's also going to be error, Cakes. There's going to
computers
be,
break
You know-
all the
Yeah,
time.
they're
you know
going to
what-
break down.
You know what else breaks all the time? Humans.
No, I understand, but I mean,
humans make bad decisions every day.
you're right. But there's got to be a human element to it.
I think
for
it's
the,
crazy.
for the for when the machine breaks.
I think
I
it's just
understand.
nuts.
Just like there's a human that helps you at the grocery store when the self-checkout always
Yeah.
breaks down.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, no, I'm that way too. I'm very binary, black and white. I'm like all or nothing. So my instinct is like the same as you guys. Like, yes, let's do either one or the other. But I don't really see any way, at least not yet, that they can do away with the guy behind the plate, because there's still going to be. I mean, what are you going to do? You're going to have the robot there, and then the umpire's not there, but then there's a runner on second, there's a single to center, and then the guy's coming across the home plate, and all of a sudden, like the umpire who was like on standby in the dugout runs out to call out of safe. Like, I don't know how that works. So I think you still need a human being back
I
there
agree.
to run
Just
things.
making a mockery of it.